this thing on.
Okay, so today we'll be making Paleo Sloppy Joes. Now, as all you know, Paleo is one of those diets that bases itself upon what people would eat 10,000 years ago before the agricultural revolution, stuff like that. The invention of bread, which is huge, you know, P&J, stuff like that. So what you're going to need is a pound of ground bison. There we go, so you guys can see that. You're going to need some spinach or some baby arugula, like I have here. Also, it's a good idea that you guys have a medium onion, half a medium onion, and 2 cloves of garlic, some olive oil, some tomato sauce. I have the roasted garlic here from Whole Foods, some curry powder to give it some flavor, and let me find my buddy over here, paprika. Okay, so those are your ingredients. Make sure you have all that, and then we can get. Okay, so now that you have the onion and the garlic chopped up here, you can use the Santoku knife. That's what I use. Throw that in the pan over here, and at the same time, what you're going to use, turn your burner on. Whether you have, I have a nasty stove, but anyways, turn your burner on. Whether you have a electric one or a gas, doesn't matter. Put a nice ample amount of olive oil in there. Won't hurt you too much. It's monounsaturated fat, so don't worry. So you have your olive oil. Go ahead and put your onions and garlic in there. Okay, so while your onions and garlic are being sauteed there, you want to leave them in there until they're nice and caramelized. We're going to walk over here to the big pot, which I have. And we're going to turn this guy on as well to a nice low flame. We're throwing a little bit of olive oil, again. Just help the process. That should be enough right there. And now we're going to take our arugula, never could pronounce stuff correctly, especially with these kinds of names. We're going to take a nice ample handful and just toss it on in there. There you go, just like that. See? So you got your arugula in here in one pot, which later you're going to put your sloppy joes into, and then you also have your onions and garlic sauteed over here. Just add in, it's a good idea to put your top, if you have one on top of this pot right here, so they can kind of steam up, so the vegetables, or in this case the arugula, start to condense. Okay, so when your onions and garlic are about this color right here, it's a nice brown, that's a good time to go ahead and throw in your bison on top of that, or in this case ground beef. You don't have to be that fancy. As you can see in here, the arugula has already condensed itself down, so we just take that off the flame, turn that off until we actually put the mixture in there. So once you have the meat in there, kind of just start working it around into smaller parts, you know, folding the onions and the garlic into the meat as well. And take the top off the other pot, slam it right on top of there like so, and that'll brown the meat perfectly. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for your meat to brown up, you can go ahead and take that lid, you know, I would say 2.5 cups, which is perfect. So you can go ahead and throw that on in here with your arugula in the side. Okay, so the meat's all brown. You can go ahead and transfer that to the big pot over here, like I'm doing right there. Okay, so your meat's in the pot with the tomato sauce that we poured in there and the arugula that's already in there. Now last we have to season it. So we've got your 2 spices over here. I love using the curry powder, love using the paprika. We're going to throw in about 3/4 of a teaspoon each in there, and that should be sufficient. If you like more spice, go ahead and go with the curry powder, but don't overdo it because it's very powerful. So stir that on in there, just like so. Get it nice and mixed up. Perfect. I'll put the top on here again and let this simmer for a few minutes on a low heat until some of that water kind of comes off and it reduces a little bit. Let that sit there and reduce, and you're good to go. Okay, so there you have it. You have the Paleo Sloppy Joes without the bread, obviously. You have a nice little apple, some peanut butter, but in this case you should usually use almond butter. I'm cheating today. A little bit of water, and that looks like a fantastic lunch. Now obviously you're not going to eat a whole pound of meat. This actually makes around 3 hefty meals. So you can put your excess in a little Tupperware container right there, throw it in the fridge, especially if you're a college kid. It's perfect. 3 meals, tasty, sloppy joes. Go ahead and make some and tell me what you think.